Hey guys, it's Michael Todd and welcome to The.Cult.Of.Vintage. Today, you guys, we are at a brand new place. I have never been here. It has been years, 20 some years since I have even been in this city. We are in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania. And today we are at Plaza Center, Antique Gallery, Arts and Crafts, Auctions, Cafe, Playhouse, etc. We've got vintage, we've got antiques, we've got contemporary, we've got crafts. We've even got Easter blow molds in the window. Oh, look at those Meyer cord decals on the little crib. That's adorable. All right, let's get inside, see if we can't find anything. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, here we are on the interior. This is immediately when you walk into the plaza. You obviously are seeing quite a few items here. It's always an exciting feeling when you walk in and you're kind of like, ooh, I'm seeing some good stuff. The first thing that I see is obviously a piece of ephemera, or I guess we would call this a display piece. It was priced at $39.99, which I think is very fair, especially for a collector. Now, this is an amazing deal, I think, $69.99. Beautiful mid-century lamp, amazing shade. The shade is in pristine condition. Unfortunately, the size, especially the shade, would make it cost prohibitive for me to really be able to ship. A lot of people will see the shipping rate and say, "Oh, never mind," you know. Here we have a cypress knee with the braided shade. I absolutely love them. They're super mid-century, and as I've said before, it's actually illegal now to cut down cypress knees. So if you see them, get them. There is some really good value on them. Now you do see these green glass with the gazelle on them. You're getting all three for $18.95, which again for a collector I think is a great deal. It's about what, $6.33 each, but for me for resale I said no. And the confusion begins, folks. There's all kinds of twists and turns throughout the plaza, and I'm kind of trying to decide. We're getting motion sickness here, Michael. Calm down, make a decision. All right, here we go. Jeez. We are stopping in the first booth. Now, when you walk in, that is also this vendor's stuff. So they've got quite a few items here. Again, an amazing mid-century lamp with the clock and shade. $30. The shade alone is worth twice that. And you're seeing another there to the left, and that turquoise, another great mid-century lamp. These are reproduction. Yeah. See, the vendor says inspired, and I greatly appreciate that. And you can typically tell by the condition of the lids, though sometimes vintage or antique pieces will in fact have new lids put on them. Here we've got some hobbyist pieces. I initially thought that these might be like a manufactured piece, but no, they actually are a studio piece. We've got $24 on all three pieces. I actually do think that there is some resale value on them, but I wasn't overly in love with them. We've got the little poodle shot glasses here. It's $39.99 for this set. Again, a little out of my price range, and that's totally fine. Love this ceramic mid-century lamp. They had the lamps going on, folks, and the deals, only $29. Again, I wish I could pick something up like this because I recognize the value in it, but the shipping is just going to kill it. We've got a little Fenton milk glassy Pern, only $29. We've got a dark green Frigidish here. It's in a little rough condition, so I do decide to leave that one behind, though I do love that dark green color to it. Got some Coca-Cola advertisement pieces here and some media. We've even got ceramic Christmas trees that have been left out. $99 for that one. That's a inspired lamp there. And then we find her. Isn't she darling? She is so happy. She has her real lashes. She is $69.99. Yes, we know that they can go up to $200 on eBay. So I do decide to go ahead and get her. Now, she is an original one. Keep in mind, it is a fiberglass mannequin head that is then painted over. They are making reproductions of those, so do be mindful of that. And a lot of the vintage ones have their real lashes, I do believe, on them versus the molded lashes or no lashes at all. So that's a good tell. And even if they don't have the lashes, just look for the holes. I'm kind of peeking around here. There's not a whole lot in these booths. Like I said, it very much is going to be kind of flea market style. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm really, truly not. Unfortunately, in my area, there are no flea markets. So to be able to come in at any time of the year, I absolutely love that. That is downstairs. I decided that I'm going to save downstairs for last. I don't know why, but I did. So we'll see that here in a little bit. Now we are continuing on here. As you can see, it is quite extensive. There are a lot of vendors. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of mixed in. So we are going to find vintage, antiques, and contemporary things all mixed together. These little seal salt and pepper shakers, I absolutely love them. They're only $6.99. I would have liked to have gotten them maybe a little bit cheaper, the salt and pepper shakers, but the subject matter really spoke to me and the fact that they had their original whiskers. Now, these are noise makers salt and pepper shakers. They are produced by a company called Tilso. Tilso, they loved making some kitsch. Unfortunately, they were missing their noise makers. They're priced at $16. That's not out of the realm of being too much, but I decided to pass on them. I definitely decided to pass on this giant cockroach who was lording over lamb chop here. I thought that was an interesting little arrangement. Run, lamb chop, run! Oh my goodness. Alrighty, guys. So we do have another piece of diamond pottery that is the production company of these. These are made, of course, by the Rempels Squeak Company. I absolutely love them. I always pick them up if I can get them at a good deal. They're super cute, very darling. 1930s, 1940s is when they were produced. We've got some more redware poodles here. Not really feeling them. They're kind of all over the place as far as their paint applications. We've got a redware bear. It was kind of interesting, but he did have some chipping to him, so I did decide to put him back. I do see that black. It looks very American bisque. The black lamb planter there in the back. But again, it just wasn't speaking to me. We've got a little lady here. She is a planter. The condition, the paint loss on her. I'm not one to shy away from broken or damaged things, I guess, as you guys know, because I do see that there is still value in them. And sometimes it is the joy and the pleasure of having something. I know I have a complete collection of the Napco storybook figurines, and most of them do have damage. And I gotta say that I don't love them in spite of the damage. I love them because of the damage. It is a story, it is a history, and they were valued to someone so much so that rather than discard them, they decided to repair them, and that's part of their history. And I value that. And I don't think that there is a price that you can put on those things. So, to each their own, I guess. At the end of the day, but I say that if you love it and there's a little bit of damage to it and you can get past it, or maybe it even adds to its aesthetic value, get it. And if you're a purist, then you're a purist. You know? So we are headed up here to kind of like a mid level. This was an old like playhouse, an old theater. So there's kind of some weird levels to it. And then there is like a technical third floor or fourth floor if we're going to include the basement. Now we do see this accordion here, and look, NFS, not for sale. Of course, not that I was necessarily really going to pick up an accordion, because I was like, is there really a market? I mean, I'm sure there is, but I don't know if that's the market that I'm working in. You know what I mean? I mean, miss, one of you is going to be like, I play the accordion. And I'm going to be like, it wasn't for sale, though. It wasn't for sale. What was for sale is this adorable little cat treat dish. It's got a little butterfly on it. It's in excellent condition. Um, I had to get this. I know there are a lot of cat lovers out there, and it's kind of kitschy. And I thought, you know what? We're definitely going to get that piece. Now, here we're headed into the Christmas room, and then this thing caught my eye. Um, um, it's made out of fur. Ooh, I don't. That stitching line still disturbs me. I don't. It's unique. Unique. We're gonna go with that. It's one of a kind, and we're all giving thanks for that, right? Anyhow, we're gonna head into the not as disturbing rest of the vendor booth here. Now, there unfortunately was a lot of newer things in here, very like 80s, 90s to current like 2000s. Again, not what we're looking for, but you still have to go in. You got to poke your head around. And I will say this: I was going throughout the vast majority of the booths. I wasn't necessarily going to film them like I did in here, simply because I know that you guys are here for those vintage and antique goods. And I am, of course, still trying to provide an experience. But I didn't, I kind of am trying to curate that experience so that you find things of interest in regards to what you're seeing on the screen. So again, the video is going to be a little bit choppier because of that, but again, I wanted to give you guys the good stuff. Now we do have some Noma lights here, but unfortunately they were missing all of their little bulbs and the box was in okay condition. Now, I did recently just pick one of these up before. It is produced by the Sun Rubber Company. It is an Edward Mobley. He was a children's author and illustrator, and they were based off of course, his illustrations. It is the Betty Pie Bye dog. He was priced at only $5, so heck yeah, I picked him up. He's in great condition. He is unfortunately missing his squeaker. Which I guess could be a good thing, especially if you have children around the house. Here we are seeing this little transfer where very Austrian in look. It is porcelain, so it did have the quality of the material. Unfortunately, there was some pitting in the actual porcelain itself. I'm getting very close to the hand painting, and that's one way, if it is unmarked, if you can tell a piece is of quality. So far as the hand painting, that would be something that, of course, would be given a little bit more of a quality control versus something that was mass produced, though the hand painting was a little sloppy, so I did leave it behind. Now, we do have, of course, some Knickerbocker here. I'm showing you the tag in overall really good condition. Now, he is missing his nose. He's got these weighted feet and, of course, this giant string. And I was like, what is it? The string is elastic, so you could kind of bop him along, and those weighted feet would kind of give him the idea that he was moving, but it just really wasn't speaking to me. Oh, darn, I should have given you a trigger warning. Here comes a clown. Well, surprise. This is a Napco clown planter. Unfortunately, he had quite a bit of chipping throughout the piece. Good resale value on him, especially at $10, but bah, the condition needed to be a little bit better to warrant getting that $30. So I left him behind. Now here we've got all kinds of choices. We can go up to the right here. We can go down and straight ahead and back up. We can make a left. We can make a right. Now I will say to the right, it is more of like that primitive style. So I do newer stuff. So I do decide not to go down that way. And I decide to hang a left here. I was like, I'm going to get lost in here. I got turned around a couple of times. I never got lost, I will say. So I was very proud of myself. Love this little wooden bird cage here. Now, it does appear to be missing its mechanism. So I quite wonder if perhaps those birds would rotate or move in some way. And then the mechanism had a music box in it also. Here it is, folks. I found some Francoma finally. I know a lot of you absolutely love the Francoma. This is in their prairie green glaze. I was kind of surprised at the popularity and the demand for these pieces. They are a little bit more than what I typically would like to spend. However, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to take a risk. We're going to roll the dice and see how these go. $20 and $22. And I'm like, but they love them. And Michael, just do it. And I'm looking at it. We do have a little bubbling in the glaze. That is a manufacturer's error. So we picked both of the pieces up. Now, I didn't see anything else down that way. So I'm getting befuddled and confused. I'm like, should I go down there? And I'm like, was I down there? I don't know. And I was like, yeah, I was down there. We're going to go upstairs. and we're gonna go through this door. I'm like, okay. Now we're finally upstairs in another portion of the plaza. We're not in the upstairs proper. Like I said, there's a lot of twists and turns and kind of like half levels to the mall. So it was an interesting experience to say the least. We've got a lot of stuff here. It's a lot of contemporary stuff, not really seeing a whole lot of vintage. Now, you do see this chalkware bank. He is, of course, an indigenous person. He's only $16. I think he's absolutely adorable. There is some loss to the paint, especially on the back of his headdress. However, on the front, he is in excellent condition. And at $16, I do decide to pick him up. Here is this little lithograph. Curious George tea set. Everything was like taped down, so I couldn't really see who it was made by. And I was like, can I flip it over and see the underside? I did, but unfortunately, there was no maker's mark on it. And then I did notice on one of the little plates there that you can see in the back, it was stamped Taiwan, which is still vintage, but I did decide to leave him behind. So this absolutely adorable little kitschy flocked fuzzy bear bank. It is a Joseph original, but honestly, they go for about $10. So I was like, oh, well, he's right at it. So anyhow, guys, we are headed back up, even further upstairs. And I love these original movie posters. Look at that, the Gone with the Wind, Dr. Zhivago. Beautiful. Obviously, they were folded at one time, but overall, really good condition. Now, here we are on the proper third floor, I guess you could say. Again, we've got a mixture of new and vintage items. This was some kind of like a mezzanine or like the upstairs, and you could look down. I don't know what was going on. It was all very confusing, and I said, just go with it. Of course, I saw the Afghans, 20, 24, and $30, so there was no room for me to really warrant getting those pieces. Still cool to see. Loved the green one. Love this skunk planner, and I agree, the skunks are hard to get, especially in such a wonderful condition, but it wasn't where I would need it to be. Here we have a company called PY, and it's quite literally called PY. This is the line called Shoe Fly. He is obviously a chef that has a fly crawling on him. Bless him. That was it for upstairs, guys. So we're going to head down in the basement. And down in the basement, it was a little dark, not going to lie. Didn't really see a whole lot, except I did see this dark room over here, and I thought, that's a little murdery, Michael. Let's not. I mean, I don't know. You guys, that is it for the plaza. We're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap it up outside. See you there. Well, guys, there you have it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we got one of the mannequin busts. What? I am so excited about that. I was sad because she was like, yeah, she had 4 or 5. I don't know. And I was like, what? So anyhow, it was massive. It was twists and turns everywhere. At the end of the day, was there a lot of new stuff? Yes, there was. Was that necessarily what we were looking for? No, it wasn't. Did I think that it really added to the experience? Yeah, actually, I did. I do like the fact that it is a kind of like a very large indoor flea market. It makes the treasure hunt that much more fun. And I think that the pieces that we got are absolutely amazing. I hope that you guys agree. I had a good time, and the staff is very friendly, so added bonus. That's going to be it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed. And until next time, remember, keep it rusty, crusty, and dusty. Bye, guys.